This is the voice of Ambazonian. Truth in resistance, clarity in crisis. Today is Monday, September 1st, 2025. Our editorial today is titled The Origin of the Ambazonian Problem. Part 1, the Federal Foundation of 1961. Fellow Ambazonians, good day. The roots of our problem lie in the Federal Constitution of 1961, one of the most consequential bargains in African post-colonial history. On September 1st, 1961, the draft of the Federal Constitution was completed. 1 month later, on October 1st, 1961, it came into effect. The Federal Republic of Cameroon was born, a fragile union between two colonial legacies. East Cameroon, the former French administered territory which had gained independence on January 1st, 1960 under President Ahmadou Ahidjo, loyal ally of Paris. West Cameroon, the former British administered Southern Cameroon, which had voted in the February 1961 United Nations plebiscite to join Cameroon after Britain and the United Nations denied its plea for full independence. The Constitution created a federal framework. West Cameroon retained its House of Assembly and House of Chiefs. East Cameroon kept its National Assembly. At the federal level, there was a president, a vice president, and a federal national assembly. Ahmadou Ahidjo became the first president of the federation. Django Funcha became vice president. And then came the most important safeguard, Article 47. Any proposal to revise the present constitution which impairs the unity and integrity of the federation shall be inadmissible. That was the legal firewall, the guarantee that federalism could not be abolished. But even then, the French-trained bureaucracy in Yaoundé considered federation a transitional phase. The seeds of betrayal were already planted. Part 2, the breach of federalism in 1972. Barely a decade later, Ahmadou Ahidjo struck. In 1972, after discovery of crude oil in Victoria, Ahmadou Ahidjo called for a national referendum under the pretext of strengthening national unity. The vote took place on May 20th, 1972. But this referendum was a direct violation of Article 47. It asked citizens to abolish the federation and create a unitary state. The results were nothing short of theatrical. West Cameroon had a population of 800,000 with only 200,000 registered to vote. Out of 179,000 ballots cast, official figures claimed more than 99% voted yes. Only 46 people were reported to have voted no. Most voters never even saw the draft constitution. On June 2nd, 1972, a new constitution came into force. Article 1 declared, "The Federal Republic of Cameroon shall become a unitary state under the name United Republic of Cameroon." With that single act, West Cameroon was erased. Reactions from leaders. Django Funcha already resigned in 1970. Later, in 1994, he led a delegation to the United Nations declaring his people had been deceived. Augustin Ngomjua, his successor as Prime Minister of West Cameroon, opposed the referendum but was silent. Solomon Tandong Muna, who replaced Funcha as Vice President, aligned with Ahidjo and helped push the unitary project, a betrayal in the eyes of many West Cameroonians. Thus, the destruction of the Federation was both a constitutional violation and a political conspiracy. Part 3, the consequences and the Ambazonian question. The consequences were immediate and lasting. West Cameroon's House of Assembly and House of Chiefs were dissolved. Federal autonomy was swept away. The equal partnership promised in 1961 was replaced with subordination to Yaoundé. The voluntary federation became an annexation enforced by Ahidjo and backed by Paris. International silence. The United Nations, which had supervised the plebiscite, stood silent. Britain, the administering authority, turned its back. France celebrated its protege's consolidation of power. The heart of the problem, fellow Ambazonians. This struggle is not about language. It is not about culture. It is about a broken constitutional pact, an illegal abolition of federalism, the denial of the right to self-government under international law. The truth is simple. Ambazonia did not secede. Ambazonia was swallowed. And because there was never a treaty of union, we must now reassert our independence as a free nation and live in peace with the Republic of Cameroon. This has been the voice of Ambazonian, truth in resistance, clarity in crisis. Today's editorial was titled The Origin of the Ambazonian Problem. Stay strong, stay vigilant, and stay united.